All right, here we are, Friday for Beyond the Gates. The question is, will it be a filler Friday for Beyond the Gates? Hello, Cassiar. Good afternoon to you as well. Are you ready for today's filler Friday of Beyond the Gates? Hopefully they'll surprise us, but a Nicole and Carlton date, it's kind of the epitome of filler Friday to me. Hello, Bobby Wobby. Cassiar says that's exactly what it's going to be. Filler Friday. Probably, sadly. How are you, Bobby? Are you excited for Filler Friday? Per usual, I'll say my Paramount Plus stream is usually a minute behind the CBS stream, and I'll be typing notes. All right, starting for me. Let's see who we're starting with. Naomi and Martin. Just looking for Smitty. Hello, Divine Trivia. Welcome to it live. Thanks for joining us. What's up, Phoenix Rising? Nice to see you too, Kaiwan. I haven't gotten to Grayson's part yet. I see. Maybe they're finally depicting Grayson's loss of blood. Oh, here's our big Nicole and Carlton day. Hello, Bookchella. Yes, Kaiwan, I think his loss of blood has drained his head. Does it, Shanice? I think you should run away from Ted. That's what I want to hear. Right, Bookchella? It's not like you defended Leslie to Shanice, of all people. Though I don't know if I wanna hear about Ashley's man troubles again. At this point, the Danny and Andre relationship is back to being more physical than anything else. They love to tease that Andre has this big old secret. We ain't gonna find out today because it's Filler Friday, but yeah, ATC, they did finally get to Andre's secret from last week's preview, but it will go nowhere. Hello, Ali Bordeaux. Yeah, Bookchella, they have been teasing this secret for months. But they like to move the pace oh so slow these days on Beyond the Gates. Except for the Impaler, I guess. Kaiwan, I don't think Andre is still thinking about Ashley, or at least I hope not. Everyone does suspect that Andre maybe has a secret child or secret family. That would be surprising, though, since, he was billed as the playboy. Maybe a secret baby, but a secret family? Bobby Wobby says, "All the writers do is tease Bookchella." That's true. And ATC, I really agree with the comment you left like 20 minutes ago that Grayson and Ashley are not a couple we're invested in because they didn't write them as a couple. They've just been bed buddies, like you said. James says, "Oh wow, Grayson looks like he's going to cut Smitty up into a paper doll or dolly." Cassie R says they need to do something with Andre and Danny. They have been very boring lately. Yeah, they are currently in a stall until this show decides to actually do something with Bill and Haley's storyline. Bobby Robbie says they keep teasing secrets to keep the fans watching. Well, I guess it's been working. They've been keeping an audience consistently this year. Although I do want to see how April's ratings go towards the end of the month, the last couple of weeks when we get there. Because the show's been very boring since then. Maybe Andre is a secret agent. The hell's this? Cassiar, Bobby, I don't know. This is the epitome of filler Friday. James says, "All right, Andre and Danny are looking good in those throwback afros." They do look good, I will say. Cassiar says, "This episode is hot garbage, and we are not even 15 minutes in." Hello, Ray Ray. Welcome. I think this was the last week of soccer, Ray Ray, so we're back to 5 episodes next week, although I'm not excited that we're back to 5 episodes with the current state of the stories. Phoenix Rising says this is weird AF. I like the music. I mean, if this is the best that they could come up with for Andre and Danny right now, that couple is in trouble. Alvin Chapman, I have no idea what you're watching. I guess a '70s movie. Bookchella, I do think Guza would help. Bobby Wappy says Michelle Jean wrong for this. Kaiwan, I do like whatever song this is. It's very random, Phoenix. Yes, Ray Ray, I'm fine being called Pisces. I enjoy being a Pisces. Alrighty then. That was giving passions and not in a good way. Leah gonna threaten Ashley. We got '70s flashbacks. We got Edward Scissorhands. I mean, odd episode. I agree, Bookchella. I am also not a fan of Bob Guza, but I think the show was better when he was co-head writer. Kathy, I don't know what that was. Yes, Ray Ray, I know you're in the West Coast, but today's episode kind of seems like passions. Yeah, Phoenix Rising. I don't know how Grayson is supposed to be so big and bad with a pair of scissors. Jacob gets on my last nerves. I hope this storyline is to kill him off. Because I doubt we're ever gonna have these characters acknowledge that Jacob and Smitty fucked up this entire investigation. Taiwan Passions was I don't even know how to describe it. It was kind of supernatural, but also was kind of a mockery of soap operas, really, in my opinion. Yes, Alvin Grayson pulled scissors out on Smitty. It's a rough one, Ali Bordeaux. It's always a filler Friday with this show. ATC says none of this will hold up in a court of law. Jacob, go sit down somewhere. He should. And he's had no plan lately about how he's actually going to take down the syndicate. He just says he's gonna. The Ray Ray says, I had a crush on Grayson when he was on All My Children. Well, you need to have a crush on him again and get over your crush on Tomas so we can get Tomas on out of here. Diane Whitney says, not even hospitalized scissors. I know, it was like scissors from the store to cut some paper. Bobby Wobby says, I heard Passions was off the wall. It was off the wall, all right, but not in a good way. Book Chalice says they have no courtroom. Make that make sense. I mean, it will just happen off screen if the impaler goes to court. Yeah, Kaiwan, I don't know why Smitty has to be this hands-on in the story to get his paperwork, or his writing the story for the paper. Chalice says Passions once spent a month on the same day I found. Sounds about right. Phoenix Rising says, why are not IG mentioned a producer left? Fans were happy, and I think the writing will be better. Well, no, the problem is that the writer and the producer were the same, and he left as producer, but it's still the same old shitty writer on Young and the Restless. It's not poor Tomas, Ray Ray. James says, so far, Nicole and Carlton is the dead zone of today's show. Whatever Jacob, Smitty, and Grayson are doing is the middle ground. The best hope for today's show is Shanice and Ted. Yeah, when I saw the spoilers, that's why I put Ted in my thumbnail for this, because that sounded like the only decent thing today. ATC Bob Guzzo was the co-head writer for the first 6 months of Beyond the Gates, and he wrote many different soap operas, most notably General Hospital for a long while. I mean, this is an odd special guest appearance. Ray Ray says, I'm tired of seeing Joey's little ass poker room. They make it seem like it's a big old casino. Show me some slots. They don't have the money for that, Ray Ray. Book Child says, I'm sick of guest stars. Ray Ray, I don't even know who this guest star is, honestly. Cassie R is over Nicole and her many men. She says this episode is the pits. I would have to agree. Philly Fastanisa says her acting is better than Tomas. True. That's true. I mean, all the guest stars have been better actors and actresses than Tomas. So that's a fact. Alvin, I think Naomi wants to talk to Smitty because she knows Smitty's working with Jacob on whatever the hell they're working on. Bobby Wobby says, I used to watch General Hospital in the 80s, but it was too much Mission Impossible, James Bond type stuff for me. Yeah, I don't like the action adventure 80s either, honestly. I mean, I guess they think someone else is going to dig up the dirt on Martin's past, Kaiwan. Book Chalice says, those were GH's golden years. I think I don't know if they've aged well, Book Chalice. The early 80s, anyway. Wow. So Naomi's whole thing was pointless because she didn't even get to talk to Smitty. No shit, Ted. Well, what is it, Ted, if it's not feelings for Leslie? Because I don't understand his thing with Leslie. Bobby Wobby says General Hospital had good courtroom scenes, though. I do feel like soaps had better courtroom scenes in the 80s in general. Kaiwan, I don't want Leah to be Joey's sister. Ray Ray says, why do you think Kitty McCain, my forever Dixie, took this limited role. She could do anything in the soap world or Hallmark TV movies. Maybe she just wanted to work as much. I think, she doesn't live in Atlanta, so maybe it's the whole flying into Atlanta too often. Well, at least Grayson is calling Jacob out. Philly Fashionista wants to know what drama Bridget from B&B is going to bring. That's who I think might be Joey's sister. Book Chalice says, I loved Katie as Rosanna Cabot on As the World Turns. I don't like her as Pamela. I loved her as Rosanna on As the World Turns. I agree. Yeah, Philly Fashionista, that's what I think. So far in this entire storyline, Jacob just talks a big game, but he's not matching that big game. Ali Bordeaux says, Grayson is confessing to Jacob. I wonder if he's going to out Leah to him. Hopefully, that would be some progress. Ray Ray says, or maybe she don't want to see her real life husband Joey every day on set. I don't think they're divorced yet. I think they're officially divorced. I thought they were on good terms. Philly Fashionista says they better have a good storyline for her. No more foolishness, please. I'm not gonna hold my breath. Although I will say, I feel like with the new characters, they've done a mostly better job. I don't know about Grayson so much lately. They turned him into an X-Men, but for a lot of the new characters this year, they've done a pretty good job. Ali Bordeaux says, I have been saying Shanice needs to walk away from Ted too. At this point, she definitely does. Book Chalice says maybe she's Joey's sister. That would make sense, and that's what I'm thinking for now, unless they're bringing on another new actress to play Joey's sister. Oh, I wish I could drink for this episode like I did yesterday. This is the episode that needed some alcohol. It's true, Phoenix. Kathy says, sorry, but this show doesn't have a good storyline for any of the characters. Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like they even dropped the ball with Bill and Haley. I know that's gone. DGF, welcome. DGF says, "This chat made me turn on my TV to watch BTG live." Well, my condolences for making you do that, DGF, because it's not a great episode. Ray Ray says, "Plot twist, Joey's sister is Shanice. I got some behind the scenes tea from a good source. I mean, sister from another mister and father and mother, I mean, because they don't look like family." Oh, that sucks, Bookchella, although I don't know if you're missing much. Cassier says, "Not another imaginary stereo. Another one? I'm not even there yet." DGF says, "I'm here to laugh and be disgusted with you." Oh my god. Well, after this episode, I think I can declare that the Andre and Danny pairing, which was one of the only good pairings this show had, might be dead in the water. Alan Bordeaux says, "The only reason I haven't fallen asleep because of the watch along. Watch along is more interesting than the episode." That's why I've been trying to do these, because y'all entertain me so more than the episode does. Yeah, Phoenix, I don't know why we are getting these things with Danny and Andre. This might be worse than Passions. No, Cassier, they do not know what to do with Danny and Andre. I'm glad you love my reactions, Diane, my disgusted reactions when they annoy me. True, Bookchelly, you do get to vent. DGF says, "I follow the stylish on Insta. She spends big money on Andre's pieces." Really? Why Andre's specifically? Phoenix Rising is laughing at Danny's southern accent. Kaiwan, I don't know if this is soap operas from the 70s or what. Cassier says, "This is so stupid. I can't even try to find some type of joy in this episode." It's a bad one. They really do their worst episodes on Fridays, and I will never understand why. Bobby Bobby says, "This live chat is therapeutic for bad episodes." Well, I hope it's helping today. Poor Bookchala, his news interruption ended, and he had to come back to another fantasy. Kaiwan, I'm only doing these live reactions to try and stay interested in this show. Ali Bordeaux says, "Nothing is worse than passions." Fair. It is the worst soap opera ever. Phoenix Rising says we all might need to start drinking during the show. I think so. James says the BTG writers are actually begging the viewers to hate them with these diversionary story fillers. Well, unfortunately, they have a shield right now with the 2-year renewal that I feel like even if we hate on them, nothing's going to change this year. EGF says she must enjoy dressing Andre. The women get a lot of fast fashion. That's interesting. ATC says, "What in the world is going on?" So they have nothing else to do with Danny and Andre. It's very telling that this is the only thing they can do with Danny and Andre, which is like their only successful couple. Definitely a big clue of bad writing. Book Chalice says, Ryan's Hope was a 70s and 80s show I used to watch the episode on SoapNet. Trust me, they were not like this mess. No, Ryan Hope was a very well written show from what I've seen of it. Bobby Wobby says, "Is this the official jump the shark moment in real time?" I don't know if it's jump the shark, but it is. I don't know if anyone could defend the head writing after this episode without just being fake. See, Ray Ray, don't you wish soccer was on today instead? Ali Bordeaux says, hopefully GH cliffhanger will be more exciting today. I hope they have a cliffhanger because they have had a pretty boring week too. Alvin Chapman says they have no real clue how to do Andre and Danny. They are not developed and just no real character action. Yep. Like I get that they're in the happy soap opera couple stage, but like you got to do something. Yeah, Bookchella, they have run out of ideas how to stall the Bill, Haley, Danny, Andre storyline. Barbara Gregg is insulted by Danny and Andre's role playing. What a waste of expensive airtime. Facts. Kaiwan says Mondays are supposed to be Fridays on GH. I mean, I feel like they have decent Fridays too, though. They had a Friday cliffhanger last week. ATC says Danny needs to be out modeling or something. DGF is telling you all to tap the like button and share the live. I agree with her. Ali Bordeaux says, "Is Michelle Valjean the head writer on BTG? If so, she needs to retire." She is, and I don't know if she needs to retire, but she can't be head writer much longer. Maybe like consultant for the show. She had a good creation, but like clearly she did not think about the next months after those first 4 months. Bobby Wobby says, I personally felt they jumped the shark with the Chelsea kidnapping episodes. I mean, I kind of enjoyed that week actually. Barbara Gregg says, time to flush the writers down the toilet. Kaiwan, I mean, they talk about Danny's modeling sometime, but it's never interesting. Bookchala says, "I've been leading the charge against Valjean. She and her co-writer need to go. I'm gonna keep screaming until it comes true." Yeah, her co-writer is worse than her because when she came on is when the show really started to go down. Dan Whitney says, "I still think it's AI writers. I don't think they know how to use AI." DGF says, "The makeup artist is going overboard on Smitty's eyebrows." I mean, whatever Ted is saying is not explaining why he said she was a changed woman a few episodes ago. Yes, Bobby Wobby, that's exactly what happened. When Tracy Thompson took Guz's spot, it went downhill ever since. DGF says, "Don't wear Crocs to confront your man about other women, Shanice." Oh, now we gotta deal with Nicole's sexcapades. Anyway, Bookchaw says, "Ted, you are a bad man." Uh-oh. I don't know why we're trying to do this Nicole and Ted thing again. Bobby Wobby says, "Michelle worked for Bold and the Beautiful and General Hospital." I mean, she seemed to be a good script writer. Ali Bordeaux says, "Ted is lying to himself and Shanice by saying Shanice is the only woman he wants to be with. He clearly wants Nicole back." Yeah, Ted is a big liar. Ted's a strange character. Bookchala is still ignoring Nicole and Carlton. ATC says, "And Nicole wants Ted. Let's go." I assume you like Ted and Nicole together. I think Ted needs to just be alone. And frankly, at this point, maybe Nicole too. Alvin says, "Nicole saw Ted. Ted sees and talks to Leslie." Philly fashionista hates Carlton's beard. DGF says, "Can't waste a former video vixen. I still see her as Nora's daughter." Fair. ATC says, "At least Nicole didn't call Carlton Ted." Kaiwan, Michelle wrote for General Hospital in the early 2000s, but I think for a long time. Cassie R says, "I kind of like Ted and Nicole together." I have 2 issues with Ted and Nicole getting back together. 1, they still write Ted as an idiot with Leslie when that was the whole disrespect to their marriage. But 2, I feel like their chemistry is very much giving Friends. Ali Bordeaux says, "I guess Nicole wants Ted back too since she's thinking about Ted while she's making out with Carlton." I think that's what they're going for there with Nicole. I think their anniversary episode was supposed to be cute, even though in the episode before is when Ted was being stupid about Leslie again. Well, we've made it 75% through this episode. Andre going out of town again. Kaiwan misses when old Ted threatened Leslie and everything else like that. I used to enjoy when old Ted used to threaten Leslie. It actually also helped their chemistry, though, too. Lydia Duncan says, "Maybe if Ted and Nicole get back together, he'll put Leslie in her rightful place beneath them." I don't know about that. Not the dumbass Ted we know and don't love. Cassier says, "It would be interesting to see how Nicole interacts with Eva if her and Ted get back together." I mean, Nicole has always tried to take the high road with Eva. DGF is just paying attention to everyone's eyebrows today. I haven't noticed. Well, I did notice Smitty's, but I can't talk about eyebrows because mine get out of control. Book Challenge says, "I would love to read Tracy Thompson's audition script for the job because what she is serving us is sad. I don't know how she got the job either." Kaiwan Isaiah has been gone lately. How did Jacob come through for Grayson? Okay, finally. Well, at least something happened in today's episode. DGF says, "I'm so distracted by them." The eyebrows. Phoenix Rising says, "Yes, I love the old Ted. I like the new Ted too now, but old Ted just exuded masculinity." He did. I do think this Ted is a better actor, though, overall. ATC says, "I think Leah's leaving the show next week. You think she'll be killed off?" DGF says, "Old Ted was as wooden as Tomas, though he kind of was. But he had great scenes with Leslie." Book Chalice says, "Old Ted worked great with Nicole and Leslie." Yeah, he also had more chemistry with Nicole. Ali Bordeaux says, "Jacob finally has a lead. Now let's see how he's going to move forward with it. Maybe he'll finally do something good in this case instead of always making a mistake." Cassiar says, "The old Ted was a horrible actor, equivalent to Tomas." DGF says, "Turtleneck Ted, welcome, company confidential." ATC says, "No, she's only been contracted for a specific time. She will probably just disappear. But will she disappear like Lynette and be presumed dead?" Book Chalice says, "Jacob will fumble the ball." I mean, I don't have faith in Jacob either. I want to see if I can find who wrote today's episodes. ATC says Jacob will tip her off and she will leave town. I hope not. That's kind of weak. Because this just the other day she was threatening Grayson that you can't leave this whole ordeal. He'll be 6 feet under. ATC says Andre can't be this good. He's hiding something. He seems to be hiding something, and I guess it would gray up his character like this show likes to do with all the characters. DGF says, "Is the show suffering due to budget constraints?" I do think the budget hurts them, but I also think the co-head writers lack imagination. That's a good point. Bookchild says they have money for guest stars. Well, at least we've made it to the last segment. I wish Ted would give it up. Happy almost birthday, Kaiwan. Bookchella has local news. What's happening in your place? A thunderstorm? Well, you're just missing Smitty and Martin dancing. Oh, an explosion. Damn. Well, the walls might be closing in on Leah. What's up, Zachariah? Hopefully, I said that right. Lord, just an episode of Daydreams. Let's see this preview. Oh, wow. A blast from the past. Bobby Wobby says Mike is back. I mean, that doesn't excite me, to be honest, though. Glad I got your name right, Zachariah. ATC says, when is May sweeps over? We still got 3 weeks of May sweeps, although this does not feel like May sweeps to me. Cassie R says, next week has potential. Hopefully they don't mess it up. Bookchala, we had Mike returning with something with Bill. We had Ashley slapping Grayson because I think they're trying to show Leah that they really broke up. And that's all I remember off the top of my head. Thank you, Diane, for watching with me. Bobby Wobby says, who is Hazel Hawthorne? Is that what they said? I'll have to rewatch the preview and talk about it on Sunday. Ali Bardo says, "We have reached the end of the road. Thank you for the watch along. Everyone, enjoy your weekend." I agree. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Thank you for joining me during today's tough, tough episode of the show. I don't know why we had to have passions like flashbacks, but apparently we did because we can't tell a story for Andre and Danny anymore. Well, I will be back for the review later. Thank you all for joining me as usual. ATC says Leah is not the head. I don't think so either. I think we'll probably figure out the real impaler by the end of May sweeps, hopefully. All of you have a good weekend as well.